Hey guys, my name is Let's Player Ultimate, and welcome back to the Stanley Parable. We continue now. Or maybe we just go like this. So how's your guys' day been? That's good. Things could always be better. I know. This is a long loading screen. Yes, I get it. It's not as difficult.
Stanley decided to go to the staff lounge to
Yes,
check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others.
I think we'll do two endings
The thought of
this
total
episode,
solitude
guys.
was terrifying to him.
First one, I'll just follow everything
When
he
Stanley
says.
came to a set of two open doors,
That way the
he
story
entered the door on his
progresses.
left.
The original ending instead of these other ones.
As Stanley entered the lounge, he was horrified to find not a single person here. He decided he would
What
walk up
is
to see
this?
his boss, hoping that he would find an answer there.
Huh? Oh. Okay. Time to see old boss.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yes. Totally.
Entering his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. It was at this point that he began to feel dizzy and a little sick, and even thought he might pass out when suddenly he noticed a keypad next to the filing cabinet in the corner of his boss's office. Stanley had never seen this panel before and had no idea what combination of numbers would produce any result. In fact, only Stanley's boss knew this, since the panel withheld access to the boss's greatest, darkest secret. And so he had assigned the keypad a combination that only he could possibly know. The number of his freshman dorm number in college.
Okay.
1957. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
9, 5, 7.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad,
totally.
Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
What am I getting myself into?
Stanley ventured forth into the newly opened passageway. As he drew deeper into the bowels of the building, Stanley had no idea where he was or what this place held. And just as he began to think he might not discover a thing, he emerged into a long room to find rows and rows of monitors. Screens with a number above it. Stanley noticed, however, that these were not random numbers, but the number of employees who worked in the building, his co-workers. Even his own number, 427,
this guy must be
had
bored.
But why a setup so elaborate, he asked. Was this simple surveillance or something even more? And as if in answer to his question, the walls slid open before him, revealing the ultimate truth of the situation.
Big machine.
An enormous control panel, Stanley discovered, but not one that controlled simple machinery. Buttons were labeled with emotions. Happy, sad. Levers and knobs controlled actions.
I don't see
walking,
these buttons.
Eating, doing work, or watching TV.
Let me push
Every
buttons.
input on this device monitored not the functions of a machine, but of a human being. And the reality began to sink in. Stanley, like so many other people, reduced to images on a monitor, had been under someone's control.
Dang, that's
always
deep.
at the mercy of this machine. Could this have been the only reason employee
Think about that,
number
guys.
427 was content with his boring job?
What if your lives
That
are
a
just
machine
that?
had
You're
altered
being
his
controlled by
emotions to
machines.
accept it blindly?
It's that whole Matrix
He began
theory.
to feel an unbridled rage, and at the peak of his anger, something happened. A spark. Stanley looked up and saw the generator overhead,
Is that lightning?
still providing some small amount of power to the machine, keeping it alive. And knowing that this generator was all that kept the controls running, Stanley moved to the ladder in the back of the room and began to climb towards the rafters.
Okay. I guess I can climb. Hello. Well, I have just, like, discovered the ultimate truth of my world, and I'm just like,
The higher
derp.
Stanley climbed, the closer he felt to freedom, the further from enslavement.
This is kind of how I feel about America right now. Just all a bunch of slaves to their desire. Save game. Save. I'll disable it first. I'll show you that guy. I'll show you that ending first. Whoa.
Blackness,
Blackness.
power gone, all alone. And then
Freedom!
as he stepped through the door into the fresh outside air, a feeling of liberation rushed through Stanley's body. He had seen power, he had seen enslavement, and he had destroyed it. The underling was in control now. He had found his leading role. Stanley never discovered why everyone had gone missing, nor how and when he had come under the machine's control. But it didn't upset him terribly, because he knew that this was how things were meant to happen. All he felt was a delight unlike any
nice
he had
soundtrack.
ever known before. Never again would he follow someone else's orders without question. Never again would anyone tell Stanley where to go, what to do, or how to feel. No more bosses, no more instructions on a screen. Stanley decides for himself now.
That's how things should be.
And he stepped out into the world, and he felt the cool breeze upon his skin, and Stanley was happy.
True freedom. That was good. Now, let's go back. Let's see the other ending. Ha ha! I'm in control now.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After it kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself? Is that
Yep.
what you wanted? Control?
Sure.
Stanley. Stanley. I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's
Lightning.
only so much that machine can do.
Yeah, but
You
I can
were
spy on
meant to let
people.
it go. Turn the controls off and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do better than that.
Really?
I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you have. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized that
Aw,
he had
crap.
just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is
Why?
activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode,
Why do you have nuclear
eliminating the
detonators?
entire complex. How long until detonation then? Oh, let's make it say,
I want to
2
disable.
minutes. Now, this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? Go
Disable.
ahead. Play with those controls all you like. The real controls are where I'm sitting.
What?
Did you really ever believe you held any power?
What?
Did you not think I knew what I was doing? When I erased your co-workers and turned off the machine, I was offering you freedom, an escape. I didn't have to do that. I've run this story many times, and I don't always set you free.
Ah.
Sometimes you just sit there, day after day after day, doing your job forever.
What the hell?
And dying alone. But when I actually give you the freedom to control your own actions, it's not enough. I let you go, and you trapped yourself just the same. You just weren't made to handle this sort of responsibility, I'm afraid. But you know what you were made for? Pushing buttons. You get it now? Now I'm enjoying this. Tell you what, I'll throw some extra time on the clock just because I'm having so much fun. There we go. You see, I want to watch you for every long second you try to puzzle this out. After all,
What?
it should make sense, right? The timer, the nuclear detonation, the mysterious facility, it's all here. This is a video game.
How did he know?
Except for one thing there, hero. You've got no weapon, no vehicle. You don't even know where you're going. When you saw that timer, you just instinctively started trying to find an exit, didn't you? In fact, I bet you're still looking for a way out. I bet you're clicking on everything in this room, trying to open doors or vents or something and solve the puzzle. As though this game has a solution, as though it can be won.
Stop it!
That timer is not a catalyst to keep things moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death.
Come
This is not
on.
a challenge. It's a tragedy. It's the moment when the hero realizes that despite his best efforts, he is powerless to his environment. And then he lets go. He surrenders. And he dies.
No.
30 seconds, Stanley.
Indestructible corner.
30 seconds. Until a boom. And then nothing. No ending to this story, just you dying. I suppose you could have gotten an actual ending if you played along, but that just wouldn't have been your style, would it? Instead, you'll perish knowing that the only choice you made here was to turn on that machine and to start this timer. But you won't be alone, because I'm not going anywhere. I'll be here to watch every second of your inevitable life from the time we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
Oh. I guess I'm dead. Well, hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Stanley Parable. The next one will probably be the last one, and I have another thing planned. I have a lot of things planned to show you guys. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode I make. Bye.